DJ here at Strength Depot, and in this video, we're going to be assembling the NEXO Fitness Equipment Squat Stand. So what you can see here is I have everything laid out, and it includes our uprights, our pull-up bar. Right here we have our base beams, and then our squat rack support beam right here, as well as 2 sets of brackets, along with all of the hardware, the nuts, the bolts, the washers, and all that good stuff. To put this together, we are going to need a 15/16 inch wrench, which is also a 24 millimeter. I'm going to be using a wrench and an impact gun. One thing to note is that if you're using a gun of some sort right here like this, you're going to need an impact version, not just your standard drill. The standard drill cannot actually lock down the nylon lock nuts that we have included. And so if you don't have an impact gun similar to this one, what you're gonna have to do is use 2 wrenches or a wrench and a socket, adjustable wrench, some set of 2. You will need 2, either 2 wrenches, a wrench and a socket set, or an impact and a wrench, some variation like that. So just be prepared for that to get these all bolted on. So as you can see here, I have everything completely laid out, and you should do the same. You can kind of pause the video, lay it out like I have this. And what I've done is I've kind of put everything together where it's gonna go. I laid out all of the bolts with a washer already preloaded onto them, and then a washer and a nut on the opposite side. So when I'm putting it together, I'm not fumbling around trying to find the hardware to put these things together. So in this video, what we're gonna do we're gonna start off by putting our base beam and the support beam together. Then we're just gonna hand tighten the actual upright brackets. And then after that, what we'll do is we will connect our pull-up bar to both of the uprights, and then we'll stand the uprights with the pull-up bar up into our brackets. If you tighten the brackets too tight at first, what's gonna happen is you're not gonna be able to slide the uprights into it. And so then you're gonna have to come back and loosen back up the nuts and bolts to be able to get in there. So remember, when you're right here on the brackets, make sure that it's only hand tight. You're not fully tightening it down. We want it to remain loose at first. All right, so we're gonna start off by putting our base beam and our support beam together here. So again, it's the bolt, put a washer on first, put it through, then we're gonna go another washer, and then the nut. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them all just kind of hand tight real quick, and then I'll go through with the impact gun and wrench or my tools, and then I'll tighten them all down real quick. So I'm gonna go through, put these 4 on, tighten them up, and then I'll move on to just hand tightening the brackets. Again, bolt, washer, goes through. Let's say it goes through. Line it up here, there we go. Another washer, put the nut on. There we go. All right, so I got all 4 of those done. Now I'm gonna go through and tighten it up. All right, so now that we have our 2 base beams connected to the support beam and it's all tightened up, I'm gonna move on to the brackets. Make sure you might want to count off the holes for the brackets so you know where they go. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put the bottom 3 in. Again, the washer on the bolt first. It goes through. There's going to be 2 brackets per side. Again, another washer, and then the nut. Just hand tight. Pretty much it's just going to stop at that nylon lock washer that we have in there. Here we go. So I got those 3. Obviously, we're not going to put any more on because then our upright wouldn't go on. So I'm just going to switch to the other side here. Put these on. Remember, a washer on the bolt, then it goes through both brackets on a washer, and then a nut again. Hand tight, next one. Knock this thing out pretty fast. especially when you have an impact gun. If you have 2 wrenches, it's probably going to be a little bit longer. There we go. All right, so we have both the brackets hand tight right here. Now what we're going to do is go to the pull-up bar on the uprights. For the uprights, before we bolt the pull-up bar to it, it's important to note that you have the west side spacing should be facing down towards the ground. It should not be on the side. So put differently, the west side spacing should not be on the same side that you're bolting the pull-up bar. So I'm gonna have my west side spacing, which is this section right here, which is the holes are 25 millimeters on center versus 50. That's gonna go face down right here, and then we will bolt the pull-up bar onto the sides. If you have this rotated to the side, what's gonna happen is when you go to bolt your upright brackets, it's not going to fit. So what we're gonna do here, again, bolt with a preloaded washer right through the top, into the pull-up bar, washer, nut. And again, I'm just gonna hand tighten all 4 of mine so I don't have to keep picking up my tools. And then once I get all 4 of them on, I'll tighten them down. So preloaded bolt goes through, washer, nut. There we go, hand tight, switch sides. There we go. Last one. Just like that. All right, now I'm going to tighten these things right here. Good. Snug them up. Next one here. All right, there we go. Pull-up bar is mounted to the uprights. Our next step that we're going to do here is we're actually going to sit the uprights onto our base beams right here, just like that. Get them pretty close, because what we're going to do is we're just going to lift it at the pull-up side and just kind of walk it in. Make sure that you have your bolts close by. So when you get it up, you're probably going to hold it with one hand and then slide the bolts through. So make sure to have bolts ready on either side that is easy to grab. If you want, you can actually just probably hold them. So here we go. Just gonna lift it up, just like that. What you can kind of do is, so it should honestly just sit there. If you have relatively flat ground, shouldn't have any issues with it. Kind of just kick it into place right here. There we go. Again, it's just sitting. I mean, it's not like it wants to fall, as you can see right here. It wants to kind of stay on its own, but safety reasons, hold on to it. Then what we're going to do, we're going to kind of line it up, get a couple bolts through on each side. We just have them through one of the brackets. There we go. Okay, move to the other side. Do the same. There we go. This side, I'm just going to put all of my bolts through real quick. There we go. Washers on the insides as well. So our 3 washers. There we go. I'll put them on that side, and then I'll tighten everything up, because now it won't move no matter what. All right, so I'm just going to get these all lined up. Washer, nut. Go through here. Each one. There we go. I have to just kind of wiggle it a little bit to get it in there. My upright is not perfectly centered, So you might have to just kind of tilt it a little bit, get it to go through some way. There we go. Kind of rock it back and forth, it'll go in there. There we go. So now everything's kind of hand tight right here. And then what I'm going to do, snug it up, and we're done. Last one. There we go. We are finished. And that is how you assemble the NEXO Fitness Equipment Squat Stand. All right. J-cups added. Now we're finished. Make sure you have some spotter arms.